The illegal elbow.
Elbow techniques. This is the elbow. An elbow from here. I'll throw the elbow.
We have the illegal elbows.
All right, people, we're back, man. Illegal Elbow Radio. Another exciting episode for you guys, man. This is Brian from Illegal Elbow Radio, Illegal Elbow on Twitter.
And this is Dan from MMA Aftermath on Facebook and Twitter.
All right, people, it's been a while, man, but we are back. It was a good vacation, some much-needed time off. Dan's back to a full schedule, dude. Fill us in, man. You're up to your neck in work, man. What's happening, dude?
Oh, yeah, mud, dirt, water comes to territory when you're doing the old sprinklers outside. But I am happy to be doing it because cold weather gone, warm weather here. I'm happy.
You're working outside, dude. It's your element, man. It's what you do.
Hell yeah.
You know, so,
I can't bitch.
Yep. No, I hear you, man. And we're actually really kind of slow where I'm working, so it kind of works out, I guess. But at the same time, summertime is always the time that we get busting ass busy. So,
not to mention the heat you got to deal with inside the factory situation, you know.
Yeah, totally. But it's pretty good, man, because they got me some industrial fans in there, dude. And they work wonders. I will say that. They work wonders for sure. But getting to it, man, we got Stipe Miocic, Mark Hunt, Ultimate Fight Night. UFC Fight Night, excuse me.
Yeah, what was with that? Is that like the new pay-per-view deal that they try on us? You can't watch it unless you got Fight Piss?
Yeah, which Fight Piss, which I watched it on Fight Piss, and I gotta say, I gotta give Fight Piss a lot more props because you know what they just added this weekend to Fight Piss? IVC, which is International Vale Tudo Championships.
Oh.
From 1997 to 1999. It was 3 major years, I guess. Whatever you want to call it. I don't know how many shows were done in that, but dude, it's sick shit. It's shit that we started watching way back, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, Bare Knuckles?
Yeah, Bare Knuckle, totally, man. Chuck Liddell was in there, Bare Knuckle, with some dudes. And, it
Mark
goes
Kerr?
Yeah, Mark Kerr. I didn't see Mark Kerr in any of the ones that I saw, but I saw very little of it. So there's a lot more stuff over there. I got to give props to Fight Piss, which that's what we normally call it because it seemed like it was just a bunch of garbage. But they're adding a lot of good content. So a friend was over. We were watching it on Tanya's account. So I'm probably going to get my own account just so I can go in there and continue my own research. Because, dude, literally, man, if you pay, for a year's membership, it's $8 a month. That's a big deal, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't got $8 a month out there, people, I mean, you're not a real fan. No, I'm sorry, but I shouldn't say that. But at the same time, it's like, man, I'm penny wise, too. If any of you guys out there are penny wise, whatever, dollar wise, I am. So, but $8 a month, I can't complain about it. $10 a month, I can't complain about. So I'll will end up getting my own account. So, but in my opinion, I think it's a great card especially for Fight Pass. And it started out, there was I would say for a couple minutes, it started out really 64-bit, whatever, not 8-bit. 8-bit, it started out looking like shit. But it worked itself out within probably 5 minutes. The rest of the night was beautiful high def video. Looked great. Stream was nice. Everything looked good, man. I was like, this is impressive. But are we going to get the same thing if we were to, we log into our Fight Piss and we order, say, UFC 189 or 190? Mm-hmm. Are we going to get that same definition? Who knows? I don't know, depending on where you're at. It could get Fight Pissy. But But anyway, just some words about Fight Pass, man. I could say a few things about the lower cards. Not lower cards, but lower... Tavares versus Whitaker.
It was a short one, man. Whitaker fucking slipping that fucking, the left hook a couple times, man. He landed 3 good times. The first time, Tavares went down. He tried getting back up, got nailed again. And then the final time, it was his head bounced against the canvas, I think there was another punch or two landed in there before it was stopped, but it was pretty wicked, man.
Yeah. And I love the way this kid looks because he lost. It was 2013, mid-year 2013. He lost to Court McGee. Court McGee's nowhere to be found anymore. He lost to Stephen Thompson early 2014. Since then, he's been doing really nice. He's coming off a two-fight knockout streak. Let's put him on that. Talking about Robert Whitaker. Knocked out Clint Hester. Clint Hester is a big dude, man. Clint Hester's, a good striker too. That's what he was known for. And I thought this would be a pretty cool fight. Robert Whitaker knocked his ass out round 2. About mid-mark round 2. And then coming into this fight, I thought this is going to be good because Brad Tavares, is no joke. We've seen this dude. He looks awesome. 13-4 coming into this fight. Coming off a win, fresh off a win off Nate Marquardt early this year. It looked great. It was a decision win, granted, because Nate Marquardt's no joke. You know what I mean? He's having hard times lately. I'd say the last 2 years, Nate Marquardt's really kind of been, what kind of Nate are you seeing? That kind of a thing. Maybe he needs to change camps up. Who knows? But Tavares did a really good job against Nate Marquardt. Coming into this fight, I thought he would have really showed something. But this was a good, really, really good pairing because both of them come off of certain kind of losses. And then both of them coming off wins, they come back in here head-to-head. It just shows you, man, Robert Whitaker is capitalizing on where he's at right now. He needs to make a statement. It's in his hometown, New South Wales, baby. So it was his backyard. And 24-year-old guy, man, in my opinion, huge, bright future, big time, man. When you take a look at the rest of the card, I want to pay some respects before we get to this main card. If we go all the way down to Alex Chambers coming in against Kailin Curran. Kailin Curran was the one that lost to Paige Van Zandt. Paige Van Zandt came in with her debut, just mopped the floor up with Kailin Curran. Kailin Curran turned things around, looked awesome, and beating the crap out of Alex Chambers for, I would say, a good portion of the first 3 rounds. Alex Chambers, out of nowhere, throws on a armbar, which Kailin was fighting for almost the entire 3rd round. Really, really fighting to get out of this. It looked really good, man. Her stand-up looked great. It's almost surprising that Paige Van Zandt just dominated this chick, but at the same time, we're talking about Paige Van Zandt just showed up and beat the crap out of Herring too. You know what I mean? Felice Herring. So it's a different fighter. But anyway, Kailin Curran looked really, really good coming to this fight. Looked great in the 3rd round. Alex Chambers switches it over, puts on the armbar, never lets it go, ends up getting it, submitting her. It's a complete. She grabbed victory from the jaws of defeat. I mean, it was beautiful, man. It really was. It was an awesome win, man. Bradley Scott. I'm just paying some quick respects here, man. I'm going to run down these couple real quick. Bradley Scott, Dylan Andrews. Dylan Andrews in his backyard, man. This dude looked good, man. Everything looked good. Bradley Scott was taking more of a wrestler's aspect, really kind of trying to pressure him against the cage. Not a whole lot of shots going on, landing some heavy shots, nothing like that. But when the time was right and he feels that he wore him out enough, he goes for this guillotine choke. He gets it, submits Dylan in his backyard, and tough night for Dylan Andrews, man. But Bradley Scott, which is kind of funny, he's got a first name for his last name and a last name for his first name, because Scott Bradley would sound a lot more normal, but that's just over here in the States. But Bradley Scott, I'm not dissing the guy. Awesome win, man. Nice win coming in here in UFC. And I'm excited to see what's next for the guy, man. But we all know Beck Rawlings coming in against Lisa Ellis. I really don't know shit about Lisa Ellis. I really don't. But I've seen both these girls. Ellis has looked very impressive in the Tough Show, because I've seen a little bit of the Tough Show where both these girls have their impressive moments. But Beck Rawlings came in here, Lisa Ellis, I think, was the favorite, actually. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. But Beck Rawlings just grinds her out. She gets in tight. She did a lot of her good work inside, against the cage, too. Just getting dirty with her, which I didn't mind seeing. No. But then they're not hot chicks, don't get me wrong, man. They're okay looking, but it's not like it's some grinding that you really want to see. But Lisa Ellis, I think, was just taken out of her element, and Beck Rawlings, winning with a rear naked choke.
It's hard to match up for Felice Herrig and Paige Van Sant grinding. So
that's very true, man.
It's a hard act to follow.
It is, man. Excellent point, brother. Excellent point. But getting into some fights that I was really, really excited about. I'm talking about Sam Alvey taking on Daniel Kelly. Daniel Kelly coming in here.
Alvey making a name.
Alvey, dude. I a lot of people don't like the smiley thing. I'm not so bothered by it because what the performance he puts on, it just goes.
I don't like it, but the fight speaks for his fight and speaks for itself. So I gotta respect that.
Yeah, dude, the fight he puts on, it just like you said, speaks for itself. The guy's obviously in there having a good time. You know what I mean? He's in there, okay. And the guy,
it sounded like it came easy for him in this one too.
It was first round knockout, man. I mean, Daniel Kelly was in there going for it. Sam Alvey just watched him, and it's like as soon as Daniel Kelly started swinging, Sam Alvey dodged and landed a nasty right hook, and that was always the beginning of the end right there because Daniel Kelly hit the deck, started getting up, and then Sam Alvey landed another flush shot right on the jaw, dropped his ass again, and Daniel Kelly almost got to his feet again, landed another shot, and the ref was like, "Man, this fucking guy's going nowhere, man." But it was almost reminiscent of the Robert Whitaker, Brad Tavares fight. Those fights were very similar in how they ended. It was actually kind of funny, but not funny, but you know what I'm saying. Kind of comical in the way they almost ended out the same way. But big hats off to Sam Alvey, man. This is his third knockout in a row, man. He's working up a nice little streak going on here. And I'm actually checking out his third knockout in a row, man. Dylan Andrews knockout, Cesar Ferreira knockout, Daniel Kelly knockout. Daniel Kelly was undefeated coming into this fight. So, and he called out on hairdos. He called out Theodore. Shit, I can't remember the guy's name now. Theodore. He's a guy that had his swagger, had his pretty hairdo. So Sam Alvey said, "I'm calling him out." He was on the Tough Show too. So if you know a Theodore on the Tough Show, that's probably the guy within the last year or two or whatever. Sam Alvey said, "Hey man, let's go hairdos. If you win, I'll shave my head. Vice versa, I win, you shave your head. Let's go." So he called him out, and he's not calling out top 10, top 5 guys. At least he's calling out where it's a fun fight. It's a fight that makes sense. Because Theodore dude looked really good. So I got to give some credit. If Sam Alvey's not going to call out some top 5ers where he's not ready to be yet, in my opinion. I think Sam Alvey's making a statement right now where he's at. Things look good.
Mm-hmm.
So roll with that. Keep it going. But
get your stock up.
Yeah, exactly. Get your stock up. He had some good mic time, so that's good enough. It's like, from this point on, it's like you don't need a shitload of mic time anymore. You've made your statement and what you're going to do, what you're planning to do. So, but I love it, man. I'm a big fan of the guy now. He's caught my eye. He caught my eye years ago, but he's kind of recaptured my my attention, man, for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and point my attention to a couple more fights. Where did you begin? Because you probably saw the main card, I'm imagining. Right?
I started at the Tavares Whitaker.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was right before the main event. I didn't get to watch it, so.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that Kyle Noke looked pretty good, but he looked like he was taken out of his element a little bit. He got a split decision win over Jonathan Webb. Jonathan Webb. Jonathan Webb looked awesome in my opinion, and I thought he was beating Kyle Noke's ass. And I think Webb got robbed. And this guy is impressive, man. He's undefeated coming into this fight. Of course, he takes a bullshit decision, in my opinion, against Kyle Noke. But another fight that I was impressed by, James Vick. James Vick was the guy that knocked out Detroit Superstar on the Tough Show, which I thought was kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't think he really meant to do that. It just kind of happened. Well, this fight kind of proved otherwise, because he did land a couple of nice shots. He landed some good shots, got this guy to the ground, guillotine, choked his ass out. And Jake Matthews was one of them guys that people were really expecting a lot from. People really, he's a Justin Bieber lookalike. So I think people were just going on that right alone and saying, hey, man, this guy looks impressive, which he does. But James Vick shut him down. Guillotine choked his ass out. And that's basically it, man. But Sean O'Connell taking on Anthony Perosh, and I want to go ahead and point this out real quick. John Anik sucks at name.
Yeah, I did. No, I seen that one too. I seen the O'Connell. I seen the.
Sean O'Connell looked good, dude. He just boxed his ass out.
Fucking Perosh. Can you get? Did he go to? Did he start training in the art of being a statue with no head movement?
Yeah, I think
Holy
that's what it was,
fuck.
man. Yeah, he became a yes man, and he was. Yeah.
He looked bad in that one, dude.
Yeah.
I know I'm not trying to take anything from O'Connell, but I did turn it on when I watched that, and it was fairly quick, and it was like as soon as Ken Flo started talking about, fucking O'Connell's pouring it on right now. He poured it on even more against the fucking cage. Perosh, no head movement, just there for,
Target practice.
Target practice dummy. And the ref stepped in, and he's like, dude, I've seen enough. You're not defending yourself. You're not fighting back. You're just getting tagged.
Yeah.
They're like, some people might disagree with the stoppage, but I was in agreement with it. What is the guy supposed to do? You just sit there and tee off, and then, 20 more punches down the road, you're going to fight back? No, sorry.
Yeah. No, sorry, dude. It's over, man. I mean, but one thing I want to point out, I thought was really funny, John Anik sucks at names, because he said Anthony Perosh. He said his name 3 different ways. He said Perosh, Anthony Perosh, and
I have never really cared for Anik.
I think Anik, they're giving Anik a lot more credit than he deserves. Anik, in my opinion, has very limited knowledge on fighters and has very limited knowledge on how to say their names.
Yeah, he does ride off the coattails of the more knowledgeable, like Ken Flo. And the Ken Flo, man, I wasn't a big fan at first, but he's kind of grew on me a little bit. I think he's a good commentator. So,
yeah, for sure, man. I definitely agree. He wasn't always that way, but I mean, now he's really sticking his heels in. He's comfortable with it because he's got that knowledge base now. Because he's got that time to really look
time behind the mic,
right? Some time to look into fighters too and find out what they're all about and get some time into their backgrounds and everything. Which that takes a long time. You and I both know that. But Perosh has been really doing some. Oh, I'm sorry, Perosh. I mean, he said it like literally 3 or 4 different ways, and it's like, dude, get the fucking name straight already.
It's Pero.
Right. Perosh, up to this point, was really wrecking some dudes. I mean, he knocked a few dudes out and looked really good up to this point. Sean O'Connell had no problem checking this dude's chin and wrecking his ass. I mean, really, no problem whatsoever.
I think Perosh landed some power, landed some shots too, and O'Connell wasn't very impressed with his power, and he just was like, dude, I'm just gonna let my hands go.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, if you look at a Sean O'Connell, he's coming from, he's got a loss to Ryan Jimmo. He came in April 16, 2014, he fought at Ryan Jimmo. Lost. He's got a loss to John Valente. Which
That's not a bad loss, because Jimmo's a fucking scrapper.
Right. Same with Valente, too, man. And Valente's on a whole new thing right now. Valente looks a lot better than he used to in the last year or so. So, I mean, that's a different Valente. Actually, these two guys scrapping again might be a good thing. But Matt Van Buren came back, got a win, TKO punch, came in with Perosh, knocked his ass fuck out last night, and deservedly so. I mean, I think Sean O'Connell, I like it, man. 17-6 right now, 6'1", 38 or 31 years old. Things are looking good right now. So hopefully he's in a good training camp. Salt Lake City, Utah. That's where he's from. Doesn't say his camp, so I don't know where he's training out of. Who knows, man, at this point. But I like it, man. He's a tough dude. You know, it proves to be a tough dude. But he's been in there with some tougher guys and had some rough goings. So we'll see how he's turned that around, you know, because he's been faced against lesser opponents since then. And we'll see how he's done. So we'll see what the future could be bright, man. It could be beautiful for him. So we've talked about the Whitaker Tavares fight already, but I'm thinking maybe we take a quick break here. I don't know if you wanted to cap off something, man, before we take a break, but
no, it's just before we go into the main event here. We really don't have to speak on this one, but Tavares got his fucking chin checked. Whitaker came in. He's putting a lot of people on notice with his power, dude.
Yeah. It's beautiful too, man. It was textbook beautiful, perfect, man. I can't hats off anymore, man. Brad Tavares will be back. He's a tough kid, man. He's had a hell of a showing in the last couple times out. So here we go, man.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what he's made of. But we get to a break, man. We'll be right back.
All right, people, we're back. Before we get into the main event with Mark Hunt and Stipe Miocic, illegal elbow and MMA Aftermath, there's going to be some changes here, people. We are going to be doing a lot of promoing for our shows that we'll probably be recording them on a Sunday and then releasing them early in the week for you guys. And it's going to span from, we're going to be probably testing out some, going back to some blog talk. You know, Brian's been talking about, I've been talking about some Ustream. And we are going to be posting this stuff up on the illegalelbow.com webpage. And we'll be posting any videos we have on MMA Aftermath YouTube channel. So we're going to be delving into all kinds of new stuff for you guys. Putting out some good content, but not just MMA stuff, Brian. What else are we going to be doing here?
Well, we've been thinking about, it's hard to reach a huge audience when you're doing just one topic. And what we're trying to do is reach a large audience. And to open up a demographic and get, full topics listened to and people that want to hear topics discussed, we want to get on some top news, maybe some things that are buzzing on Twitter, some things that are buzzing on YouTube. And kind of give our thoughts on them, whether it's just a complete rag session, which could be possible, depending on who it is, who knows. Or it could be, hey, man, this is a hot video, check this out, you guys. Or it could be, hey, man, this is the newest video game out. Mm-hmm. Check this out. This is an awesome game, because we're both gamers in some sense or another. Dan is much more of a computer gamer than I am. I've been kind of delving more into mobile gaming. I have a Mad Catz Mojo, which it's totally based on your 1080p high def TV, but you're doing mobile gaming on it. So, which I love it, man. I think it's pretty kick-ass. I like it a lot. I got a Tab S. I've been doing a lot of mobile gaming on there, and they have the new UFC EA Sports game on there, Dan. So you got to check that out. It's actually pretty cool, man. It's a new UFC fight game, but it's made by EA Sports, and it's free for download on any Android phone, Android device. So definitely people check that out. I've done a couple fights in there. Pretty damn cool. Actually, a lot like the Xbox game, PlayStation game, whichever console you have. But I don't have any consoles anymore. I got rid of them all of them. But pretty much brought myself down to either PC gaming or mobile gaming. So that's kind of one of the things we're going to look at too. We're going to look at new games, top news that's going on. We might even bring up a subject on CNN. Who knows? But we're going to talk about everything. It's a full service show. It's kind of some of the things that we're looking at. Whether it lasts or not, we don't know. But we're going to
give it a try.
Yeah, we're going to give it a try. Some different stuff. We're trying to open up to a wider audience and appeal to what people want to hear, people want to talk about, and that's it. If you guys have suggestions, though, illegalelbow@hotmail.com. Easy enough, man. Throw some suggestions in there if you got them. Or if you want to throw some suggestions on Facebook, head over to MMA Aftermath on Facebook. Drop your suggestions there. Please, man, let us know what you wanna, what you out of what we just talked about, what you'd want to hear, man. So,
hell yeah.
And I do appreciate the emails and topics that you've already mentioned. So much appreciated, man. We're just trying to get a full feel for what
the people want to hear.
Yeah. So, and we don't want to have it just based on one topic anymore because we feel we got a lot more to say than just fighting. So, but obviously, predominantly, it'll probably be mostly fighting, but we're going to add some topics into.
We're going to try not
everything.
to be one-sided in our approach, and somebody that was one-sided this past weekend, it seems, and if he's going to continue, he's going to have to probably get into a new camp and get some new techniques down here, because the one-sided approach of stalking your opponent and trying to knock them out is not working right now for Mark Hunt, and didn't work in this fight against Stipe Miocic. And Stipe Miocic, yeah, he stood for a little bit, bro, but then he started taking Mark Hunt down and administering the real punishment. Mark Hunt tried his all, got back up a few times, but spent a lot of his time trying to get out of the mount, trying to get off his back, spending a lot of energy, took a lot of punishment. Mark Hunt, man, not looking good, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we all love Mark Hunt, man. You guys are out there, man. We know who you are, and you know who you are. we all love Mark Hunt because of how far this guy goes back. This guy literally is like 9 months younger than Dan and myself. I don't want to paint my age out there, but we've been watching this game for a long time, and the entire time that we've been watching and doing a show, Mark Hunt has been there the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So watching this guy do what he does helps, guys my age and Dan's age, and realize that, even at an older age, man, you're still viable, man. You're still
relevant.
And especially a guy like Mark Hunt, just jackhammers for fists, and a heart of just solid rock gold. You know what I mean? It's
chin of fucking diamond.
Yeah, just a granite fucking chin, man. You cannot wreck a dude like that. You will not make him quit. And Dan, we discussed this earlier, man. We were testing out a friggin' Android app, dude, trying to record something, man, and it totally went to shit, which pisses me off. But hey, it's what happens when you try to test out stuff. But
yeah,
Mark, we gone well into depth on Mark Hunt and where Stipe could be going from this fight and where Mark Hunt could be going. We dealt a little bit into Mark Hunt's. I think personally, and I'm gonna kind of reiterate what we were talking about earlier. I think Mark Hunt has really gotten to where he is right now because of just his own accord, man. Who he is and how tough he is and everything else. Being 41 years old right now, just turning 41 years old last month, being where he is right now, he's gotten himself here. I don't think it's anybody else to really. Whether they're yes men, like we've mentioned that too. I think you mentioned he could be in camp with a bunch of yes men. Could be very well possible. But I think that Mark Hunt has gotten here due to his own, just his own will. You know what I mean? His own sheer talents, absolutely. His own bombs. He carries friggin' cinder blocks in each hand. But like you mentioned, if he's gonna do it, he's gotta. If he's gonna continue. Which a lot of people are saying, man, just hang it up. We don't want to see another fight like this. I don't think you're going to see a fight like this every time out. Stipe Miocic is a different individual. You saw Stipe Miocic against the JDS. It was a different fight. So style, everybody says, and everybody knows styles make fights. So you're not going to match a Mark Hunt with a Stipe up every single time. So people don't count Mark Hunt out just yet. But at the same time, it's like, how far do you go?
Yeah, and it's JDS is like both these guys' kryptonite too. We were talking about that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yep.
Stopped them both. We've heard, Stipe should get a shot next. Stop the winner in of Verdum and Cain. But where do you factor JDS in then? Because he beat Stipe, he beat Mark. He should be there. And we were thinking more along the lines, like I think they were talking about too, a Travis Brown. But getting back to the fight, it's, in my opinion, it should have been stopped maybe the end of the third into the fourth. Definitely the fourth. Home crowd. We have the ref saying, okay, Stipe is on top of Mark Hunt beating the shit out of him, and the ref saying, I need to see more action out of you guys. He kept saying that, I need to see more action out of you guys. Fucking Stipe is over the top of him, raining down elbows, shots. Yeah.
Was he need to bring in a fucking sledgehammer?
He needs to bring in an axe handle and finish the job. It's like, Mark Hunt's putting up his hand and deflecting some shots that are coming in, but those shots are still coming in. Mark Hunt, like you say, he's not a guy that's going to give up and tap out from getting beat.
Right.
It got to the point, after the third round, his eyes are swollen shut. His face is swollen up, from the jabs and the constant punishment on the ground. He just took so many shots, and by the time it was almost at the end of the fifth round when they stopped it, I was just like, man, even the commentators, Ken Flower, was like, man, this should have been stopped a while ago. I know it's the home crowd, I know it's the home ref, but it was not a good job by the ref. It was not good for a Mark Hunt moving forward.
Yeah.
His next fight he's still going to be, he's going to be slowing down a little bit for his next fight because of all this head trauma.
Exactly,
his
man.
family.
Yeah.
After this fight, I wouldn't. If he came out the end of this week and said, "I'm done. It's been great," I would understand, man. Just from this last fight, and his family sitting in the front row, seeing Mark Hunt basically get pummeled, and then, like you're saying, the yes men part. When I hear his corner saying shit like, after wiping off all the blood off his face for a minute, then they finally give him some. I don't know if they were calling this advice, but try not to get taken down, Mark, or something of that avail. It's like, really, man? Really? Do you see Longo or Duke Rufus giving that kind of advice to his fighters? No, they'd be like,
right.
Move to the left, sprawl out, keep your hands up, or shrimp out if you get taken down. It's some kind of viable information that's going to help the fighter.
Right, specific knowledge, not just fucking. Hey, here's where you should be, kind of around in this area. No, man, give him some specifics, man. I mean, what can he be doing in this fight? Not just a ballpark.
Yeah, and we know that Mark Hunt's improved his ground game since he was. Since he went on his little rampage in Pride, and then finally started getting his ass beat on the ground when people were taking him down, giving him key locks, Kimuras and shit like that, and he started learning. But Stipe, and I will give Mark Hunt credit because he was getting up off of those first few takedowns.
He was, man, and it was impressive, man. He looked great because he wasn't beaten down just yet. You know what I mean? Once he got beaten down, there was no getting up anymore.
And along with getting beaten down and taken down and trying to get back up and constantly carrying Stipe's weight, I think, just a combination, man. Third round on, Mark Hunt was fucking gassed, man. He made a couple fucking valiant attempts, a couple good shots here and there, but even when he was landing some left hook power shots to Stipe has that ability to roll with the punches, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He'll take a hit, but it's kind of like a glancing hit, or he's ducking out of the way. Or man, Stipe is just a great all around heavyweight fighter right now, bro.
Yeah.
It takes somebody like a JDS to stop a Stipe, man.
It does, and you know what? JDS better stay on his bike and keep riding because Stipe Miocic, in my opinion, is he looks better every time out.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously, him fighting a Mark Hunt, he knows what to do because he's already done it with Roy Nelson. You know, it's kind of a similar fight. You know, but when you got a JDS that's in there and able to get in your face, you got two guys that want to get in your face. When they go head to head, you know, like a Stipe and a JDS, it makes for a really weird night. And Stipe stood in there for the whole night and pulled off a Mark Hunt. Stood in there for the whole night and took it all. And he's not going to quit. You know, I give him a lot of credit for that. You know, but coming back with a fight like this, where it just proves you're in there with a guy that can end this fight, and pretty much any second can end this fight. You know, at least in the first couple rounds. You know, with your game plan. That says a lot more too. It just he's widening his profession. What he's so good at, he's widening it, and the more it gets wider and how good he is at performing against these different kind of fighters, it's just the sky's the limit, man. It's like JDS better be on notice too, man, because it's like if they ever JDS Stipe too, you know, which is entirely possible. They have had a Cain, whatever. I don't care if the belt's involved or not, man. A Cain or a JDS Stipe Miocic too could be entirely possible, and I would sign up for it. I'd watch it. I'd be all over it. And I would expect Stipe Miocic to have a better game plan going into this and be more knowledge going into it. Not saying that would be absolutely be the case, but I would expect him to have the trainers and have the know-how himself to do it. So, yeah, I'm sorry, man. I still place him up there with a Jerry Dos Santos, you know what I mean? I got him on my number 4, you know, and you said they got him on number 4 too. So it's like, fuck, he's there, man. He's right there next to JDS. You know, so I mean,
and I think the best fight for a Stipe right now, because you can't. Everybody's saying, oh yeah, you know, Stipe is next in line. No, Stipe is not next in line. JDS is. So I think the viable fight for a Stipe is Travis Brown. You know. So
yeah, he's fighting Andrei Arlovski next, so that could be a very good point. So I think that's going to happen real soon.
It is. I think maybe even next week.
I think you're right, dude. I think that's the next big pay-per-view. I think. Let's take a further look.
It might be, or the one after that with the Cormier.
No, I think that's where it happens. The Cormier card.
Okay.
We may have to take a look.
Because the next one's the Frankie Edgar or Uriah Faber, which Uriah Faber is going to get destroyed. But
you're right. You're right.
You know what? Fuck UFC for putting. Every time we got to watch Gegard Mousasi, we got to get up and have breakfast to watch him. So it's like, it's like have your eggs and bacon and watch Mousasi because it's that's when the UFC showcases Gegard is when does this start? 10 a.m.
Yeah, 10 a.m. Breakfast with UFC. That's exactly the way he said it. Breakfast with UFC. That's what he called it. Fucking clown, man. Breakfast with UFC. Get the fuck out of here. But what the hell? What fight were we talking about, man? I got completely off track, man. We
were running down the Travis Brown and
Travis Brown. That's it. We wanted to see what
on the.
Yeah, Travis Brown, Hepa.
And for some reason, I know it's a co-main event, but this is a little head scratcher of. I would think that Weidman versus Belfort should have been the top main event. That's just me, I guess.
Well, yeah, but being that John Jones was already there before,
you're right.
And it kind of springboards Anthony Johnson into it, I guess. But yeah, I think that would have been a better idea for them to pick, push Chris Weidman, Vitor Belfort. That's if they're able to fucking stay uninjured because both these guys are well known for injuries. Chris Weidman, for fucking shit's sake, man. Let's go back to the hand injury that he had with Weidman. We got the audio to it. We've had it. Go back a couple months ago, man. Check it out. We got the Chris Weidman injury training.
Blocks.
Yeah. Him, Longo, and Sarah, man, there was a nasty training tape, man. People go check it out. We had it front and center, man. Check it out.
An exclusive, actually. It was an exclusive, illegal elbow exclusive.
Yeah.
So.
It was a buddy of yours. Your buddy of yours had the tape, so. But yeah, Travis Brown taking on Andre Arlovski.
My buddy Biff Moriarty, man.
Exactly. Moriarty was the one that brought the tape forward, man. Hats off to Moriarty, dude. I appreciate that, man, big time.
Yeah, he's an old pal, man.
He's a good buddy of fucking Joe Larry and Flip Johnson, man. So I appreciate it, man, big time, buddy. So, and I'm sure he's listening too. So, big props to you, brother. Moriarty rules. Yeah. But Travis Brown taking on Andre Arlovski, that is what's next. And I think with what you're saying, that's a good idea, dude. If whatever guy wins, give Stipe it. Imagine Stipe taking on Andre Arlovski, Stipe taking on Travis Brown, dude. I think either one of those would be a fucking cool fight. I think Andre Arlovski will probably buckle under the pressure into the second round, but Travis Brown.
I think Andre Arlovski is going to get knocked the fuck out by Travis Brown anyway. So.
Well, I think so too, but.
Yeah, the buck stops at Brown.
I would say too, but I would say it's not entirely possible that Andre Arlovski fucking shows Travis Brown. Travis Brown's a newbie compared to Andre Arlovski, so Travis Brown better fucking eat his Wheaties and fucking mind his P's and Q's too.
And not look past him. Yep.
Yeah, because this dude does have a fucking juggernaut worth of fucking pounds in the fists here. You know, I mean, if that makes any sense. That probably made no sense whatsoever, but I said it anyway. But I mean, he can't sleep on an Arlovski because he slept on a Verdum, which I can't compare the two. I cannot compare Verdum to an Arlovski.
No, but it's sleeping on your opponent you compare to, and like you said, Arlovski's a vet, so
he is, man, and he's got some shit in the. He's got some shit up the sleeves, man. I don't care what anybody says. Right now, he's number 9 on my list. That's because a few guys fell. Josh Barnett fell, and Roy Nelson
Antonio Silva just fell right off the face of the earth.
Who is it?
Antonio Bigfoot. Bigfoot fucking.
Oh, yeah, Bigfoot.
Without fucking PED Silva.
I think Bigfoot, Smallfoot, I think he might be like 16 now. I'm not even sure, but you'd have to go over to illegalelbow.com and check it out. Shameless self-promotion, but no.
No, not really.
Clowning, but I mean, Arlovski. I'm sorry, dude. What's that?
And I said it's a legit promotion. Fuck it.
But at the same time, it's like Arlovski, I got him at number 9 because Josh Barnett fell because he hasn't fought in UFC or he hasn't fought MMA in over a year now. So, and Roy Nelson has also fallen because of it's not only Roy Nelson, it's somebody else that hasn't fought in a long time that Andre Arlovski has gone up. And somebody else has lost. No. There's a couple guys that lost that Andre Arlovski has gone up a spot or 2. So I have to check it out actually, but you know what? I got it right here. I'll check it out. Sorry, I'm hijacking the show here, people. But Ben Rothwell number 8, Andre Arlovski number 9, Roy Nelson number 10, Josh Barnett number 11. The reason why Josh falls so far is because he hasn't fought in almost a year and a half. So that doesn't look good. It's like, dude, get your ass back in here. He hasn't fought since his loss to Travis Brown, I believe. So as much respect as I got for a Josh Barnett, you need to get your ass back in here and prove where you stand.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to stay in the top 10. Roy Nelson's 1-4 in his last 5. His last fight was a Overeem loss. So, and before that, or over top of him, is Andre Arlovski, which is 4-1 in his last 5, beating Schaub, which, I'm not going to put Schaub anywhere near the top 20. And Bigfoot, which Bigfoot is a question there. But at the same time, those are two guys that are in UFC, so you got to give them a little bit of credit. Andrei Arlovski was below them guys before, but being these guys haven't fought in a long time, and they're Roy Nelson's 1-4, so we can't build Roy Nelson a whole lot of credit because like I said, 1-4 in his last 5. It doesn't look good. Andrei Arlovski's ready to go, and he's 4-1 in his last 5. There is a question with the competition in there. Who's fought the better fighter? Obviously, Roy Nelson has, but Roy Nelson's, it's been a little while since we've seen him fight, which I think was it was Alistair Overeem. So maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit there, but I think Andrei Arlovski has looked better recently, and he's got a lot better. He's fought recently, and he's got a lot better in his own right. He's got a lot good names anyway, not great names, but good names. But he's 4-1 in his last 5, not 1-4 like Roy is. So Roy's just proven that he can go in there and fucking take a beating, or knock a newbie's block off. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to be said, And those guys are really kind of close. But Josh Barnett only fell because really he hasn't fought in a year and a half. I mean, Josh Barnett needs to get his ass back in here. He could probably jump 3 or 4 spots, back up next to a Mark Hunt. Who knows? But sorry, man, I hijacked it. I didn't mean to, but
No,
I think we pretty much I got to give the guy props, man. I'll give him props, but it's submission wrestling, it's submission grappling, it's whatever it is. He submitted to Gracie. He did it, man. He pulled it off. It's probably a feather in the cap, whatever you call it, a bucket list thing. He did it, man. You pulled it off. Now get back over here and prove your ass in in MMA, man. Yeah. Because I got to give him credit, man. This last Metamoris, which is just, a day or 2 ago? That was awesome, man. Josh Barnett fucking tapped out of Gracie. It was fucking sweet. It was badass. But, hey, man, it's not MMA. It's submission grappling. It's submission wrestling, whatever. It's submission. It's submission-based. And you submit the guy. And he's a Gracie. So that's awesome, man. Hats off to the guy. But get it back over here, man. Because it's been a year and a half, dude. Knock it off. So... But if you want to cap it off, dude, man, I don't know where we've talked inside and out where Stipe and where Mark Hunt can go from here. But man, if you want to give it a little,
it's going to be it's going to be exciting to see where the cards lay. Who's going to fight who after the Verdum fight with Cain, whenever the fuck that's going to happen. We're going to see where the cards lay, but it's like, okay.
It's big.
JDS is just in a holding pattern right now, really. It's like...
Really, yeah. He's on the shelf, kind of.
Yeah, it is. And so you got one guy on the shelf. Now you have Stipe, who's going to be on the shelf, waiting for, I guess the winner of... I would have to say the winner of Arlovski and Travis Brown, because...
Some people are saying the winner of Cain Velasquez and Verdum, but I agree with more what you're saying. I wouldn't put him in the title shot just yet.
Yeah, because you're going to get an uproar from JDS camp saying, "Hey, well, we just beat this guy, so what the fuck? Where are we at?"
Right.
You don't, I can understand the bitch about especially if Cain wins, about, hey man, what the fuck,
right?
But we'll see.
Well, I mean, let me put let me add a little bit to what you're saying, man, because what you're saying makes a lot of great points. But you got JDS beating a lot of the fighters that we've talked about, but at the same time, Cain Velasquez has fought 2 guys, 2 or 3 guys in the last 5 years, whatever it is. His last 5 fights have been between 2 guys. So,
yeah.
And one of them proves to be a fucking Reuter or whatever, a PED user. But at the same time...
You could say the same thing for Cain Velasquez. He's fought JDS, Bigfoot JDS,
Oh, no, that's exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about JDS.
Who did I say?
I thought you said JDS, but...
No, I thought I said... Oh, no, I thought I said Cain. But, well, Cain... Sorry, if I did, man, my bad. But Cain has fought. A lot of people are making the notion that Stipe, this is a huge thing. He's taking on a guy that just lost to Verdum for the interim championship. He should get a title shot. It's like, well, yeah, but you're forgetting about JDS. Well, it's like at the same time, it's like, let's see who wins with Cain Velasquez. And this might be a Dana moment for all I know, but and I'm not gonna ride the same. I'm not gonna agree with him every time, but let's see who wins with Cain Velasquez. Verdum, because Verdum deserves every bit of a shot, at the real gold. As far as I'm concerned, this guy's number one. Cain Velasquez has been injured so many times. He fought 2 fighters in those last 5 fights. As far as I'm concerned, Fabricio Verdum is the real champion, in my opinion. But let's see how that fight rides out, because we know how good Cain Velasquez is when it comes to game plans. But when that shit is ended, if Verdum wins, then damn well you automatically got Verdum versus JDS. That's why JDS is on the shelf right now. Verdum JDS Part 2, because JDS has already beat Verdum.
Yeah.
So that shit is what I was trying to get at. That shit makes sense. So when it comes to Stipe, it's like, okay, Cain just lost. How about Stipe versus Cain? Fucking makes total sense, dude. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? 2 big-ass matchups right there to shuffle the cards. I think it's beautiful, man. I'd love to see it. And JDS would deserve it, because it's somebody that he hasn't already fought 3-4 fucking times in the last couple of years. You know what I mean? It'd be somebody.
For all that to play out, we'll be talking about this very same thing, if it does happen, this time next year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's about how long it's going to take to ride out, man, for sure. Yep.
But that being said, man, let's get out of here, man. I think we've put some whipped cream on it. We put the cherry on top of it.
Hell yeah.
We did it up pretty good. And like we said, people, we are going to be expanding some horizons here. We're back at it. We're going to be doing some promos during the week on what we're going to be doing for the following week. Just to give you guys a heads up. So you can catch us on the YouTube channel, on the MMA YouTube channel for the promos, and you can see all the new content on illegalelbow.com, which we're going to be doing a lot of this stuff that we wouldn't be able to do on YouTube because of copyright shit. So some of the stuff we're doing on illegalelbow.com, we'll be able to put some sweet-ass music, some other things that would probably be restricted in a YouTube setting,
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, we're going to do everything we can to try to better the show. We're upping our game, so we're asking you up your game too, man.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Hit the like button, and that's it, man.
Hell yeah.
So, steadfast, brother.
And a God beer.